Hey everybody, Brandon Swanson and Ricky Widmer here from Most Valuable Podcasts, and it is our first Bracketology video taking a look at the last four out. And the first team, Vandy. They've got an interesting schedule coming up though here, Ricky. They've got some teams, Florida, Kentucky, Texas A&M. Those are three big teams that they got to go through.
And I mean, this is a team where the division, the conference, I should say, you're in. I'm not too high on this conference. The SEC, it's not the best. I mean, coming off this past week, the win against Texas A&M helped, and it probably helped catapult them into at least the first four out. But to me, I mean, coming into this next week, the two big games they've got is, like you said, Missouri, Auburn. First one's at home, first one's on the road. You got to win these games. To me, the only two left on their schedule that are going to help catapult them. Yeah, a loss is going to hurt, but it's the Kentucky game on the 27th and the Texas A&M game to end the regular season. If they can get another win over Texas A&M, I mean, yeah, that would hurt Texas A&M, but how much would that help Vanderbilt just get into March Madness? This looks like a schedule to me where it's like, we got to win the games that are unranked, but we also have to beat the teams that are ranked. So really go undefeated. That's what it looks like to me.
Vandy beat Texas A&M by 17 last time, so obviously they'll have a chance when they play on the road at Texas A&M. But how about Kentucky? That is a game they play at home. Kentucky, though, they've been one of those teams this season.
They were supposed to be better than they are.
We can't quite figure them out. They weren't supposed to be anywhere near what they were last year, but I thought, like you said, I thought they were supposed to be a little bit better than what they are right now, and right now they're 22.
And to me, the only thing about this game that scares me in the side of Vandy is Skal Labissiere. If Labissiere, because I watch him and I just say, okay, when are you going to turn it on? When are you going to be the guy that we expected you to be? I kind of have a feeling that as we get closer to March, that Skal is going to come out. And if it comes out around that time, it could be bad news for the Commodores.
Well, folks, that's why we call these teams the bubble teams. We're going to move on. We're going to go to Clemson now. Clemson has a huge game coming up against Notre Dame, a team that over the weekend knocked off the number 2 team, North Carolina.
You still feeling the pain for that one?
I'm feeling okay, but I'll tell you what, though, North Carolina really had a tough week. They lost to Louisville. They lost to Notre Dame. It's a bad week. They want to forget that week in February.
And I mean, the good thing for Clemson is they should watch the first half of that footage from the Irish and the Tar Heels and do what the Tar Heels did, because until the very end, Notre Dame didn't shoot that well. Demarius Jackson, their point guard, didn't shoot that well in the first half. So if I'm Clemson, I'm saying, okay, I want that the entire game. That's our game plan. The defense is going to be important. I know Notre Dame's not ranked, but it's still a big game, a big-time win. This is a schedule I'm looking like Georgia Tech. Come on, that's a must-win. If you lose, that'll probably knock you out. Boston College, you got to win. North Carolina State, you got to win. The big one is I look for the ranked opponents. Yeah. What do you have? What upsets do you have? Because that's what's going to catapult you in. Virginia, they lost 69-62 the last time these two teams met. I'm not that confident that Clemson can get the job done. I think this is a team that may very well do enough to stay pat and then need a big showing in the conference tournament to make a run for March Madness.
Clemson, I think they're going to have a nice little run here. They had a nice run earlier in the season. In a row, they beat Syracuse on the road, and then Louisville, Duke, and Miami. They beat all those last 3 teams at home. Huge wins. Now we're going to move to Ricky's conference, the Big Ten.
The Big Ten, baby. Gotta love the Big Ten.
And the Wisconsin Badgers, they've had themselves a nice season, especially getting a couple of big wins over Michigan State and Indiana, a team that we talked about just a couple of weeks ago on the podcast.
I want to throw that out really quick. Really short. Whenever me and Brandon talk about a team on the Primetime Podcast, like, are they for real? Are they undefeated? Yeah, they usually lose. Michigan State, Texas A&M, what was it? Purdue and Iowa and Indiana. All 4 of them lost the next meeting after that podcast went up. Fun fact.
I'm gonna say Ricky's. I'm gonna push it all on Ricky. Ricky's kiss of death. It's real. It's real, folks.
It's real. It's real.
Can't get any more real. Well, folks, coming up for Wisconsin, though, they got some tests coming up, that's for sure. On
13th.
the road at Maryland, on the road at Michigan State, and then on the road at Iowa. Those are all coming up.
Top 10 teams, baby.
And
Top
it's crazy.
10. And I mean, for Wisconsin, this is a team where it's like, okay, what are you going to do post Ryan after he retired, post Bob Ryan? And it's just, you know what? You got to win these games. And the big one to me is Maryland. If they can upset Maryland, the number 2 team right now, say, hey, you know what? There's no top team in college basketball. I know they're not number 1, but it would still add to the parity. The game I am worried about for Wisconsin, and I'm not worried about saying that they're going to lose, but it's a game they can't lose, is the 21st against Illinois. Illinois, I know better than anyone because I'm a Illini fan, sadly, this year. But, yeah, we're not that good. And if Wisconsin, even if they, let's say, beat Maryland, a loss to a team like Illinois may bring them back and even it out and just keep them where they are.
Well, Ricky, let me tell you, you have nothing to worry about. Illinois will go on the road for the game against Wisconsin. Wisconsin should have no worries on that one.
It's just one of those things. That's the game I worry about for the Badgers because I look at the games that are not ranked and I go, who can upset you too? And it's like that would be a huge upset that the Badgers just wouldn't need before the tournament.
And folks, our final team in our last 4 out, Cincinnati. Taking a look at Cincinnati, you know, there's not a lot of ranked teams. There's
SMU,
one ranked team, and it's on March 6th when the madness gets going. But you know, that's it for them.
To me, Cincinnati just needs to stay pat, and they're gonna need to do work in their tournament because their conference to me isn't one that exudes. The American doesn't preach.
You mean it doesn't just make you want to stand up and do a little dance?
SMU's been the only team in the top 25, except for Connecticut early. But I mean, Temple, Memphis, Houston, Tulsa, Central Florida.
They don't get you excited.
They don't.
They don't.
The games that they have left, SMU's the main one that is going to get this team any kind of street cred for March Madness. Can Cincinnati do it? Yeah, because SMU to me isn't one of the more dominant teams. Yeah, they're number 1 in the American, but we've seen teams like Temple, Houston knock off the Mustangs, and the Bearcats can do it too.
Well, folks, there you have it. Our first bracketology video of the first 4 out. This will be changing. I know it will be. This will be changing.
I hope it doesn't stay the same.
Some of these teams are going to be moving into last 4 in. They may even move up better than that. And I think the team that really will have the best shot is Clemson. I really think Clemson has the best shot out of these 4 teams.
I think it's Wisconsin with those 3 top 10 teams they face.
Like I said, Ricky loves the Big Ten.
Love it, baby.
Well, folks, there you have it. Comment down below. Let us know what you think. Who are your 4 teams out? First 4 teams out right now. Let us know. We want to hear all about it. And anything more, you also let us know. Make sure you hit us up all over the social media. Be commenting all over our social media. They're right down there, folks. Well, that is going to do it for us today. We will be back. And as Ricky says, Brandon is so freaking cool.
Do I say that?
You do now.
Oh, okay.